Hello and welcome to Chanakya. Is the Great Wall crumbling? Is our topic for today. Since last week, internet was buzzing with speculations about a possible coup in China, including its current president Xi Jinping being under house arrest. The rumors started with the Chinese president leaving Samarkand without attending the official closing ceremony of SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. He was reportedly not seen in public since then. This matter drew further attention when social media went abuzz with news about several flights in and out of Beijing being cancelled. Meanwhile, there were confirmed reports of the former Vice Minister of Public Security Sun Lijun, the former Justice Minister Fu Shenghua, and former police chiefs of Shanghai, Chongqing, and Shaanxi being sentenced on corruption charges. The secrecy surrounding Beijing and the airtight media houses in China just added to the ongoing suspicions. Despite counter narratives on the lack of evidence over the alleged coup, the hubbub over it refused to die down. It is not surprising for such a news to be considered legitimate and gain huge traction. The political nature of the PLA, People's Liberation Army, in China makes it a compelling case for a possible coup. There have been news reports in the past about disgruntled PLA veterans and their arrests by the Beijing police. But to suspect a coup by the PLA might be merely wishful thinking. To understand why this news could be nothing but sheer fallacy, we need to dwell deeper into the history of successful coup d'etat. The most direct cause of a coup is a weak central government. A rhetorical setting for coup would be when the ruling power center would usually lose its face over in a single event or series of events causing discontent amidst the public. A strong opposing force would work towards fermenting this public hostility and would contest the primary authority of the government. This opposing force would either be military or any other internal or external party. In cases of military led coup, irrespective of public opinion, governments get overthrown at gunpoint even if democratically elected. In February 2021, the world witnessed the much talked about Myanmar coup, where the Aung San Suu Kyi led civilian government was deposed by the Myanmar military, despite her party's landslide victory in elections. The military claimed it fraudulent, detained the erstwhile elected representatives, and took over the government. Africa and South America have been global epicenter for coups over decades. In January 2022, Burkina Faso, a country in West Africa, experienced an unsettling coup where gunfire erupted in the front of presidential residence in the country capital. The president was detained by the soldiers in the capital's military camp. He was expelled later, followed by the military taking over the government. The growing discontent among security forces over the president's alleged failure to adequately support them against militants linked to Al Qaeda is said to have triggered the coup. In few days following this event, there was a coup attempt in Guinea-Bissau where armed men surrounded the government palace where a cabinet meeting was supposedly ongoing. The situation was, however, brought under control by the government, which announced that the attack could be related to people involved in drug trafficking. Most of the coups in South America are alleged to have had external backing. Over the last 2 decades, nations across Latin America like Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, El Salvador, Honduras, etc., have faced many coup attempts. These were either led by the military or were attempted soft coups triggered by mobilizing popular forces in anti government protests. Despite having a powerful army, there is a key factor that makes China an outlier. Unlike every other country where the army owes its allegiance to the nation, the PLA in China owes its allegiance to CPC, Communist Party of China. The well known CPC leader Mao Zedong once stated, political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. Most popular CPC leaders have usually had military experiences. The totalitarian regime in China blurs the difference between the party and the nation. As for Xi, He has emphasized that the military should work under the party leadership and not as a separate entity of the government. A CPC resolution states to build strong people's armed forces, it is of paramount importance to uphold the fundamental principle and system of absolute party leadership over the military to ensure that supreme leadership and command authority rest with the party. President Xi is not just the General Secretary of CPC, but also the chairman of the Central Military Commissions, or the CMC, the body that commands the Chinese military. Given the entwined nature of PLA and CPC, possibility of a coup against the latter by the former is almost nil. That brings us to the question, if not a coup, what is happening in China now? Reports have emerged stating that President Xi is all set to secure an unprecedented third term from this October, when the CPC is meeting for its 20th Congress. 2,296 delegates have been chosen who will serve the upcoming 5-year term as a part of CPC government. News reports from China Daily on arrests of top officials indicate a cleanup initiated by Xi Jinping to purge his political rivals who lead political clique and were disloyal to him. In 1949, Mao Zedong took control of mainland China, forcing Chiang Kai shek and his army to relocate to Taiwan, thereby usurping the seat of power in China. The events happening in China now certainly do not indicate 1949 repeating, but rather the contrary. Thank you for watching Chanakya. Stay tuned for more updates.